You've been saying, well, I'm just waiting on God. But what if God is actually waiting on you to move? What if he's waiting on you to make that move? Come on, let's be honest. Come on, let's be honest. We know what God has called us to do. We know what God has told us to do. He told you to walk away from that relationship. Mm, yeah, yeah. He told you to apply for that opportunity. He told you to forgive that person that hurt you. He told you to start the ministry. He told you to start that business, write that book. He told you to be consistent in your prayer time. He told you not to get back into the things that he's delivered you from. What has God told you? And this is what we do. Instead of moving when God tells us to move, we sit in these cycles of delay and we dress it up by saying, I'm just going to pray about it. You know, I feel like God is telling me to do something, but I'm just going to pray about it. Y'all, I wore that sentence out. Chaka, would you come minister for us? I got something that I'm doing and I want to invite you to come speak at my church. Let me pray about it. Let me pray about it. I hear God telling me to start doing something in ministry. Let me pray about it. Let me go on a fast and see. Chaka, I wanted to know if you would be willing to do such and such. Let me pray about that. Just delaying. Can I tell you something? Let me say this. Some of us, we ain't praying. We are procrastinating. Yeah, we are holding our own self up. And I pray that by the end of this broadcast, that God speaks through me and that he says something that will light a fire up under you and will get you to move away from the excuses and the fear that you have allowed to stop you from becoming the very person God called you to become. God has called you to become somebody. He has called you to do something. And it's time out for the excuses. You are delaying your own blessings. You are delaying your next level. So I pray that I say something that will get you to move. And I just want to take this time out right now to welcome those of you who are on, okay? Because this is your morning lift with Chaka. I'm Chaka. And I do this every Monday. I go live every Monday right here on YouTube at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I come because I believe that before we start our week, we need to start in God's presence. So I just want to welcome Maria. I want to welcome Grace. Grace is on this morning. I want to welcome Alex. And I want to welcome, I cannot see that, D Pay or something like that. Forgive me. And I know that there are others of you that are on that you scared to say hey in the comment, or you don't want me to know you're watching me. But welcome to those of you who will watch the replay. Do me a favor and make sure that you drop the word replay in the comments. I want to talk to you. I want to welcome you. I do not take this lightly to know that you all join me over here, and I pray that it blesses you. As a matter of fact, if you've already heard something, and if this video is blessing you, do me a favor and give this video a thumbs up. Do me a favor and like this video, okay? Because let's get back into what we was talking about. Again, some of us, we are not praying about it. We are procrastinating. And there is a scripture that I want to share with you this morning. And this scripture is James chapter 4, verse 17, out of the Amplified version. And it says, so any person who knows what is right to do, but does not do it, to him or to her, okay, it is sin. I want you to look at that on the screen, okay? So it's not just what you do that can displease God, but it's also what you didn't do, what you knew to do. Listen, I ain't got to go deep with this. Let me come up with something. There was something that you didn't do, and that thing displeased God. What about that phone call you didn't make? God has been putting it in your spirit to make that phone call. Let me say this real quick, okay? Because when there is somebody, when God keeps dropping somebody in your spirit, that may be the time that he is leading you to check up on them or to call them, to lift their name up in prayer. I'll never forget a time, this was 10 years ago, where there was this lady. God gave me a name, and her name was Natasha. And that's just how I said it. God, you keep dropping this name, Natasha, in my spirit. I don't know who that is. I'm hearing you say Los Angeles. But God, I am praying, Lord God, that she comes up out of this storm. God, I am praying that her faith faileth not. I mean, he just started dropping a name in my spirit. Never met this person. To this day, I don't know who I was praying for, but I was going to be obedient, because there have been times that I have been through some stuff and I was praying that somebody would pick me up in the spirit. So instead of asking somebody, I keep hearing, when's the last time you seen such and such? Because that's what I do. Just pray for that person. And then sometimes there's a phone call you got to make because you got to check up on something. Stop being so distracted and scared and afraid. Do what God has called you to do. I'll tell you something else that God maybe told you to do that you didn't do, because we live in a world now. We live in an era now. We live in a time now where we are all victims. And I am not, listen to what I'm saying, I am not discrediting it or minimizing what we've been through, because we've all been through things, and we've all been through some situations where we've been betrayed, where people have lied on us, where people have hurt us, whether intentionally or unintentionally. And we've wanted them to apologize. We've wanted them to admit that they hurt us. But sometimes it's us that needs to make the apology. And God is displeased because we did not make the apology. And sometimes you don't have to go outside your house. Sometimes you got to apologize to your husband or wife for going off on them or not being what you need to be for them in that season. Sometimes we got to apologize to our children for being too rough, for giving more tough than love. I've had to do it so many times to my own children, because we can expect so much out of them, and we ourselves, we trying to tell them to do something that we ourselves may not even be setting an example for. And then there may be something you didn't do. It could be that, yes, you did not give God that yes that he's asking for. You didn't surrender and say, yes, I want to show you something. Look at the screen. Some of us are not under attack. We are under delay because of disobedience. Somebody right now, I want you all right now to drop in the comments, delay. Put that word in there. Because we often hear delay is not denial. And I hear it so much till it gets on my last nerves. I'm just being honest, okay? But yes, delay is not denial, but sometimes it's denial because we're causing our own delay because we won't move. God is telling us to do something and we are allowing fear. And well, what if this don't happen? And what if that happens? Well, what if it do work? The worst thing you could do is die and leave this world, never having to try, never taking the step to just step out there and do what you believe God was calling you to do. I've heard it said so many times, the richest place is the graveyard. In that graveyard lies all these unwritten books, these ministries that should have started, these businesses, the cure for all these diseases that are out there. It's in the graveyard because we did not move because of fear and procrastination. And because if you are a Christian, I'm going to pray about it. I'm going to fast about it. What you think you going to fast and change God's mind? Let me tell you something. I've done it so many times. It do not work. Who am I talking to this morning? See, I love what Grace said. Grace made this thing personal. She made this personal. Let me find your comment, Grace. I love that. She said, Grace, stop delaying. Oh, Grace, I love that. I love that. I want y'all to follow the leader. I'm making Grace a leader right now. I want y'all, if you know that you have been delaying, because you know that there was something that God has told you to do, I want you to make that thing personal. Make it personal. I want you to drop it in there right now. Call your name out and say, stop delaying. I love that. Thank you, Grace. Thank you. Y'all, we got to make this thing personal. How many days? Let me see. Y'all, don't laugh at my calendar. Don't laugh at her. What's today? Today is the 27th. Y'all, we got 65 more days left in this year. 65 more days left in this year. Don't wait until next year to start that gym membership. Y'all know what we do the beginning of the year. Don't wait till next year to say you're going to turn over a new leaf, so to speak, and you're going to do this. Why not do it now? Why not do it now? I love that. I see that. And now I see the comments. That was deepen. Because, baby, let me tell you, I would mess up a name, especially when I can't see. These 46-year-old eyes just don't do right. They already a little touched. Y'all see how they look, right? But we got to stop delaying. You are not under the attack. You are under delay. Okay? So I want you to know, I know you've heard it. I know you have heard this. But guess what? Delayed obedience is still disobedience. I want y'all to, when you get off of here sometime today, okay, and you can drop it in the comments. I need somebody to drop this in the comments. I want you all to read the entire chapter of 1 Samuel, 15, okay? 1 Samuel chapter 15. And in that account, in that chapter, it talks about Saul, okay? God had told Saul to destroy everything, everybody. But what did Saul do? Saul spared the king's life and he spared the good livestock. Now he got rid of the baby. Do we say the word baby anymore? But he got rid of the baby livestock. He kept the best. And so then this prophet came and said, wait a minute, what have you done? Saul tried to justify what he was doing, talking about, well, I was going to sacrifice these animals to God. And this is when Samuel told him something powerful. This is what I butchered last week, y'all. I don't know what, my mind was somewhere. But Samuel told him to obey is better than sacrifice. See, Saul was trying to make an excuse for what he was trying to do. And we do it all the time. I'm going to talk about it. But you cannot bargain with God. It does not work. It does not work. God wants your full surrender, not your edited version of obedience. Can we just look at the screen? Y'all should be hardening up this live. Y'all should be going crazy. And I ain't talking about dropping hearts in the comments. I'm talking about right down this side where it got hearts and 100. Y'all should be hardening up this thing. Y'all should be putting 100 all the way down because y'all know I'm talking good this morning. And I know y'all know that I am. You know how I know? Because God told me up. I had to eat this. I had to eat this word. Because it's something that God wants me to do right now. I tell you this, Chaka is not procrastinating. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. But God wants your full surrender, not your edited version of obedience. I know this sounds crazy, y'all. I know this sounds crazy, but let me give you what that looks like, okay? You know how when you tell your child or you tell somebody, go in there and go clean the kitchen. Most times what happens is that person, especially if they are your child, a teenager, they will go in there and they will wash them dishes and think they done. They done forgot, okay, you need to wash the countertops off, clean out the microwave if you did, clean around that stove, and sweep up for goodness sakes. But they'll go in there and just wash them dishes and think they done. Anybody? I remember my children used to do that. I got adults now. They ain't children anymore. They ain't small little ones now. But anybody know what I'm talking about? That's what we look like when God done told us to walk away from that relationship. And we sit up there talking about, I'm going to wait till I can get up on my feet. And I'm going to wait till I can find me a job. I'm going to wait till I can do what I need to do before I leave this relationship. Yeah. Y'all don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. I'm going to wait and see if I don't know, this might not be the right time now because they going through something right now. And if I leave now, it might look like I'm insensitive. So I'm going to kind of wait. God said, leave and leave now. What you waiting on? God said, write that book. Okay, I'm going to write a chapter or two. I'm going to write a chapter or two. I'm going to get started. Then I ain't going to get back to it because, at least I wrote them first two chapters. But let me go do some other stuff right now. Y'all tired of me picking at you? Okay, I'll pick at me. Because I remember back in 2014 when God told me it's time to start that ministry, Chaka. I couldn't go nowhere. Every prophet, every prophetess, when you start in that ministry, I'm having dreams of me starting a ministry, just ministering everywhere. Because, see, it was easy for me to, I didn't mind being number two. Some people, they want to run to the mic. I didn't want to. I knew being number two and number three, you experience warfare. I definitely didn't want number one. I didn't want to be number one. I was going to be a great, sweet, submissive number two. God said, no, 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 no. I need you to start ministry. So let me tell y'all how I did that edited version of obedience. Because back then I was on Facebook. Y'all, I love Facebook. And I was on there just ministering. You couldn't tell me nothing. Just doing like I'm doing now, right? I knew what God was telling me. You know what, my edited version, I'm going to stay here virtually and minister. Because I know he ain't talking about doing no in person. Like, you know, where am I going to do it? Like, what building? Like, what? And so my edited version of obedience was to stay behind a computer screen when God was calling me to go outside of it. We ain't going to talk about how he blessed me with a whole building that I did not have to pay for. But I volunteered to start paying for it after I had been in there for a while. See, don't tell me what God can't do. You be holding up your own blessing. God's timing is perfect, but our obedience must be prompt. Some of us, we don't miss what God told us to do. Who am I talking to this morning? Y'all better talk to me in these comments. Who am I talking to this morning? See, there are some doors that are time sensitive. You ain't got long. You ain't got long. I'll never forget. Y'all know I have to cut the food. Symmetris, you already know I'm silly, so bear with me. That's an inside joke for she and I. I'll never forget. I went up there just strong and wrong at Popeyes, trying to get them a coupon. I was like, I'm about to get this 2 pieces of chicken and a side and no drink because I got some sweet tea at the house. I'm about to get this thing that's $5.99 because who finna pay $10 for 2 pieces of chicken? And I get up there and I try to give them the coupon and they say, baby, you know, this coupon is expired. I said, no, it ain't. She was like, yes, it is. It expired yesterday. I'm like, and I'm looking at it because I ain't wrong. And I'm looking at it. I was like, oh, okay. Y'all ain't got no coupons back there? She said, no, we ain't got. I'm like, oh, okay. That's how we look. That's how we look. Trying to do things behind time. Some of us run out there and do things ahead of God. I would do that every now and then, but most times because when I feel like God done told me something, I need 5 different confirmations. I need the 12 disciples, including Judas now, the one who betrayed Jesus, the one that stole from him. I need the 12 disciples. And I need all the angels that stand around saying, holy, holy every day. I need Jesus. And then I need the Holy Spirit. I need all of them to come and tell me this is what God is saying before I make a move. Am I the only one? That's what I would do. But there are some instructions that God gives us that are now word assignments. I am about to say something. Let me put this on the screen before I say it, okay? Because I am known for saying things that sound a little harsh and sounds a little insensitive. But let me tell you something. We have been coddled enough. There are ministers that are afraid to minister and talk about different subjects because they are afraid that it might offend. The word is offensive to those who don't believe. The word is offensive to our flesh. The word is offensive to those that don't want no parts of God anyway. And we got to stop, y'all. We got to get out of this culture, this era where we can't hear what needs to be said. We have to understand that some things have to be said. Make sure it's said with the right spirit. Make sure it's said out of love, but it needs to be said. I tell people all the time, if you see I'm doing something is going on, let me know. If you love me, tell me. Don't have me out here looking like no fool. Tell me. If I hurt you, don't go around and tell everybody, she hurt me. She said this. Tell me. But we live in a world How many of you know what I'm talking about? We live in a world where we want to be coddled and we can't hear. Everything is insensitive. Everything you get canceled for everything. That's what's wrong. I'm going on a tangent. Let me get back over here. But listen, what does that screen say? When we delay, we forfeit blessings, not because God changed his mind, but because we didn't move. Somebody need to affirm in the comments now. It's time to move. Drop that in the comments right now. Listen, if you are watching me for the first time, if you have not subscribed to this channel, and I don't even really want to say channel, but for context, yeah, do so. Because this is what you're going to get over here. You're going to get real. You're going to get raw. You're going to get relatable. But you're going to get Jesus and you're going to get love. And you're going to get somebody who cares about your soul. Because, baby, I do. Because, see, I'm about to say something right now. This is the part where I'm saying that it may sound insensitive, especially for what we are going through. But I got to say it because God put it in my spirit to say. Let's look at this again, okay? It says, when we delay, we forfeit blessings, not because God changed his mind, but because we did not move. Right now, I guess, because I have not looked at the news this morning, but currently, at the time of me doing this live broadcast, okay, this government is experiencing a shutdown. Where is she going with this? Let me tell you where I'm going to go. God told you to start the business, to write that book, to do whatever it is. And this is for somebody. Now you are at the crossroads because now maybe you've been furloughed. You may be a worker who is not getting paid. And my prayers are with you. I've been praying for you because it's somebody. I've been praying for you. But can I say this in love? If you would have done what God told you to do a long time ago to start that business, or listen, or to, what did I start out saying when I first came on? Apply for that opportunity. You are so comfortable where you are. Now your job is in jeopardy, but had you applied for that other opportunity or started that business or whatever it is that God told you to, you might not be at the crossroads of wondering, what am I going to do now? God saw this thing years before it happened. And he's been trying to drop it in your spirit for you to do it. But because you did not, now this is the consequences. Y'all, many of us don't have what we need because we will not move. Heaven is waiting on your yes. Are you going to give God a yes? So I want you to just do a little reflection right now. I want you to ask yourself right now where you are. What have I been putting off, even though I know God already told me to do it? See, I can answer that question for me. But can you answer that question for you? Huh? Then you got to ask yourself, this is a big one right here. Y'all ready? Brace yourself. What have I labeled confusion that's really just fear? I'm so confused. I don't know if God is calling me to do this or to do that. You're not confused. You know exactly what you're supposed to be doing. You know what you're supposed to be doing. You are afraid. That's what it is. Let's call a spade a spade. You are afraid. That's what you are. What if my next breakthrough is on the other side of my obedience. And I'm getting to the point where I don't even want to talk about the word breakthrough all the time, because we always want to break through. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to break through, but sometimes we got to break through some things to get to the other side. We got to break through that hatred we got inside of us. We got to break through that bitterness. We got to break through that disobedience. We got to break through that unforgiveness. We got to break through that jealousy and that envy. We got to break through that fear. We got to break through that having the desire to please people so much that we can't do what we know God is calling us to do, because we're so concerned about what others are going to say. We're so concerned about being what we need to be for somebody else. Y'all, come on. We if God called you to it, he's going to give you the grace to do it. There was a word they used to say back in the day: if it's God's will, it's God's bill. I'm telling you. And I ain't just now, you got to know God is telling you to do this. I ain't telling you something you coming up in your mind and you wanting to start something, then you get upset when it don't happen. You got to know that you know God is telling you to do it. You got to know that. Let me see if I can do something real quick. I want to see, because y'all, okay. No, I can't do it. Y'all give me a second. Give me a second, okay? Give me 1 second, because I want to show y'all something, okay? You give me 1 second. Here we go. 1 second. Because look at that. You see that? What if my next breakthrough is on the other side of my obedience? Listen to me. If you look at the screen right there, you see that? The Abide fast. 3 days of alignment and intimacy with Christ. I am calling a corporate fast, and it starts tomorrow. If you would like to join this fast, you can scan that QR code. And you can wait till we get off, especially if you're already watching me on the phone. But you can scan that QR code and you can join it. But guess what? I'm going to cut off the ability to join it by the end of tonight, about 11 o'clock tonight. And I've had quite a few people to sign up. If you scan that QR code when I get off, it's going to tell you everything that you need to know. But listen. And look, I ain't trying to sell you nothing. This is about, you see what it say? An alignment and intimacy with Christ. Because there are some of us right now, we are not in alignment with what God has called us to do, or with what he has called us to stop doing. And this fast will be a fast that lasts. If you join this, if you've never fasted before, if you fast every now and then, if you fast regularly like me, this fast is for everybody. I got videos and all of that to get you ready for the fast. Now, you probably gonna have to play catch up now, because I've been sending this out. I've been talking about this for the past 2 weeks. But I'm telling you, we got to humble ourselves and position ourselves to see, God, okay, I'm coming to you. What is it that you are calling me to do in this season? In this fast, we're not going to be talking about what we want. No, it's all about, God, what do you want? And God, I want to get back close to you, because I can't do life without you. I can't do life without you. That's what this fast is going to be about. So if you have not joined, and listen, you're not doing this fast for me. I had somebody to send me an email and say, I'm so glad that I'm joining your fast. I'm so glad. I told you I'm going to be a part of your fast. I'm like, you got the wrong idea, baby. You're not doing this for me. You're doing this for you. Don't worry, I'm not going to put your picture up there and say they're joining the Abide fast. I'm not going to do that. Why? Why would I do that? Even though this is a corporate fast, it's still private. Okay? This is not for the accolades. This fast ain't about trying to see how much weight you've lost. Not physical anyway, because some of us need to lose that weight of disobedience, that weight of sin, that weight of fear that is blocking you and stopping you from being and doing what God has called you to do, baby. Stop making excuses. As a matter of fact, I'm ready to get on to this declaration and get up off of here. Declaration. Let's say it. Let's say it together, okay? I will not delay another moment. I walk in bold obedience, trusting God with the outcome. I am done procrastinating. I will do what he said, when he says it, and how he says it. That's the declaration. I always hear, Jesus. I always hear prophets and prophetess, and I'm gonna be honest, because I used to say it and I stopped saying it. So I'm not gonna say it unless I know for a fact that God is saying it. And sometimes, even when I know he said it, I won't say it. You know how you hear prophets and prophetess say, around this time next year, you're gonna see such and such. Because sometimes we get so caught up in that, we forget that we got to walk into that thing. Faith without works is dead. So we get so excited. Oh, he said something to me. She told me they knew I was going through this, and they knew. God gave me a word to give to somebody years ago. Y'all know what that word was? That word was, God said, you're going to be the first millionaire in your family. And I was like, the first millionaire in your family. Now, you ask me if that person is the first millionaire in their family yet. Nope. Those words are still conditional. If you're not obeying Christ, if you're not abiding in him, you can hear the word all you want to. You're not going to see it because you got to do it. You still got to obey. And guess what? I don't care how many. And when I said this, I didn't have $1,000 line seed and $100 seed and I said 2,000, not 12. I didn't have none of that. No. I just said what the Lord say to say. Can I tell y'all something? I'm fixing to go there. And because I feel God saying it. Because over here, it's not about religiosity. It's not about doing all this. It's about relationship. I'm not going to fleece the sheep. I'm not going to turn the music down low and say something that's going to make you feel good so you can sow. If you want to sow into this ministry, sow. There's the QR code. Sow if you feel led. But let me say something. You sowing your money to a word that is spoken to you, that is still not going to guarantee that that word is going to come into fruition. You still got a part to play. So you can sow 1,000, you can sow $1 million, but you still got to sow your obedience. My God. Come on, y'all. Don't act like you don't know this. Don't let these people be out here fooling you. You still got to obey. You still got to move when God's telling you to move. Who am I talking to? My Lord. So I'm giving you a weekly charge. This week, I want you to revisit the last 2 to 3 instructions God gave you. And I want you to write them down. See, we're good at doing that. We write down what God say. We may even pray over them. But do them. Some of us got notebooks full of things that God has said. Full. Y'all see these right here? You see this? This is what I've started using. This is my prayer journal. This is when God has spoken something to me. And let me teach y'all something. If you feel like God is leading you to do something, you feel like you hear God saying something, you having dreams, or there's songs that he drops in your spirit or whatever, write it in red so you can know that's what God said. But I got stuff in here where I don't want it, because y'all know how to make a thing be still. Y'all be screenshotting, reading my business, because God be getting on to me because I'm hard-headed sometimes. But in these journals, I got this. But listen, I recently moved. As a matter of fact, this month made a year ago since we moved to Middle Georgia. And I was looking through one of my boxes, and I got prayer journals all the way from 2007. And I was looking through some of that stuff, and I seen a version of me, I'm going to be honest, that I don't see now. And it saddened me because I was so on fire. My fire has waned a little bit. And I've seen the things that God was saying then that I'm doing now. But I went and looked, and I seen that there was also some things that he said that I still have not done. What is wrong with me? Is that you? Yes, Grace, I see what you're saying. I love that. So listen. Write these things down. I'm telling you, when we do this fast, if you are interested in joining this fast, again, let me show it to you on the screen. That's it right there. You can scan the QR code. But it starts tomorrow. My phone has been dinging like crazy, so I know that's probably, let me look. Let me check. Yep, there's some of you that have signed up for the fast. For those of you who have signed up for the fast, I'm going to send you, you're going to have to play catch up now because I've sent out some emails. There are 2 videos, there's a guide and all of that. So spend time today kind of looking through it. We're going to meet tomorrow at a particular time, okay? We're going to meet tomorrow morning at a particular time, and this is going to be a guided fast. I'm not going to give all the details here. I'm going to tell you why. That's another thing God has told me to stop doing. I'm not going to share everything out here because then I will be casting these pearls before the swine. You got to really want it to get outside of what I do here on YouTube. Y'all, I'm not calling nobody no more. I'm not playing. Either we want God or we don't. Come on, y'all. So I will be sending you an email, but give me about 2 hours. And I have received some emails from some of you that you need something. Give me about 2 hours and I will send that to you. Also, be on the lookout. Especially those of you that are already sent this information, be on the lookout probably about 6 o'clock my time, Eastern Standard Time, in the afternoon. I'm going to send you, again, just a reminder as to what time we're meeting in the morning and where, okay? So we can start the first day of our fast. Also, let me say this, okay? Some of you have sent me questions concerning the fast. I'm not going to answer that. You know why? Because I recorded 1 hour and 29 minutes telling you everything you need to know about a fast. Then I went and recorded another 16 minutes, and I myself did a guide. You got to read it and you got to listen to it. Y'all listen. Can I say this? And I'm getting off of here. Listen to me. Some of us, we don't follow instructions. We are lazy. We don't want to get into it. Y'all, listen. Some of us, where is it? Some of us miss out and we forfeit the blessings because we want everybody to do stuff for us. Everything you need to know is in this Bible. It's in the Word. We coming upon a time where you can't just look for your leader to do it for you. You got to do it for yourself. And I try my best to do a great job to teach us how to go to God for ourselves and get in that word. So for some of those, and I'm not being mean, but I mean what I say. I'm not going to answer those questions because I did all of that. Listen, I could have been somewhere shopping, but I sacrificed my time to record those videos and create that guide so that you can know. So go back and watch it. It's good. A lot of us don't know what to do because we don't spend time reading and getting the information we need ourselves. It's there. You just got to read it. Okay. So I want you all to just think about everything that has been said in this morning lift, okay? Because I'm telling you, I believe that God will be pleased with you when you do what he's calling you to do, okay? So don't let another week go by repeating the same excuses. Before we leave up off of here, come on, let's drop it in the comments right now. No more excuses. No more excuses. And you're welcome, Summitris. No more excuses. Drop that in the comments. No more excuses. Okay? So I love y'all. I love you with every fiber of my being. I will drown a shark about y'all. But listen, playtime is over. Playtime is over. We got to move and we got to let God do what he's been wanting to do in us for a long time, okay? So God bless you all. Those of you that will be joining the fast, again, let me reiterate, okay? For those of you that just joined this morning, and it looks like it's about 4 of you that just joined this morning, I will send you all the other emails that I've already sent out. I'll send that to you in 2 hours, okay? Give me about 2 hours. For the rest of you that already have it, y'all look for an email at 6 o'clock, okay? 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. No later than 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's going to remind you what time we're meeting in the morning and where, okay? So God bless every one of you. I love you so much. Be grateful. You got another chance to live to see what God is going to do, okay? Before we go, y'all know how we sign out. Life means nothing until God means everything. I love y'all. God bless you.